Good morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Friday. Happy Friday. Today is the 9th day of January 2026. I hope you're all safe and healthy today. I hope your family is safe and healthy and that the needs of you and your family in terms of food, shelter, clothing, as well as health are being met today. Blessings upon those that work in the area of health, along with first responders, often risking their lives to save lives. Those also that pick up our garbage and keep our places clean. Those that make deliveries for our convenience. Double blessings on the men and women that are trying to help rescue, deliver, and recover teenagers and children victims of child molestation and pedophilia. People that are helping those that are victims of pornography and child pornography, prostitution, child prostitution, human trafficking, and sex slavery. Double curses on the perpetrators, profiteers, and perverts that create demands that cause these evil industries to exist. Finally, double blessings on the homeless. More than 700,000 men, women, children, families, senior citizens, military veterans homeless in the United States of America, and millions around the world in similar or worse conditions. Blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom. There's going to be a basketball game tonight. The Knicks start the first of a four-game road trip in Phoenix against the Suns. The Suns are seventh in the West right now. They're seventh in the West, and they're a game and a half behind Houston for the sixth seed. They've won four straight. They're looking to continue that. They got in a little rhythm now. It's interesting. Here we had Bradley Beal, Kevin Durant, right? And of course, Devin Booker. And that was their big three. And it was a complete disaster. Okay. As that is, like I said, that big three era is played out. It's played out. So here they are. They get Dylan Brooks. They got, Devin Booker. They moved Bradley Beal, who goes into Anthony Ambulance University. And then you get Kevin Durant down in Houston. So what do they have left? Well, I mentioned Dylan Brooks. Dylan Brooks, I would not be surprised if it was Dylan Brooks that's going to be guarding Cat. We'll talk more about that in a second. But you got Devin Booker, you got Grayson Allen, a tremendous shooter. You get Mark Williams, which they got from the Charlotte Hornets, who initially was drafted. I think he was drafted in the lottery. I'm pretty sure, and he was drafted. In order to become, he was picked 15, bottom of the lottery. He's supposed to be, a top type of center. Hasn't been that way between getting hurt and just not developing at the same speed. Again, people develop at different speeds, but he's now pretty good. He's now developing into what he was supposed to be coming out of college. Again, it takes time. Not everybody develops at the same speed. Then they got, of course, the youngins, Ryan and Iguodaro. I liked both of those kids in college. I liked Iguodaro because I like guys that play strong defense and play within themselves. They don't try to do things they're not supposed to do. They don't listen to a scouting report. You got to get faster. You got to get stronger. They try to do what's within their gift. Iguodala is such a one. He has a push shot within the lane. He doesn't force anything. He makes the right pass. He plays very good fundamental basketball. Then there's Ryan Dunn, a kid that coming out of Virginia, could guard at least 3 or 4 positions on the floor and probably still can. So he's a defender. He has never been considered a great shooter, and he's still continuing to work on that against somebody like the Knicks. Is the time a guy like that would get 5 threes. So then you got Royce O'Neal, a vet, Jordan Goodwin, a vet. You got Nick Richards, a veteran. Then you got Kaman Maluik, who is really just a young, and they still developing him. So they're learning to play together. Grayson Allen's a knockdown shooter, as is Devin Booker, knockdown shooters, both of those cats, And then Dylan Brooks, he can shoot a little bit when he wants to also, but Dylan Brooks is not there for his shooting. Dylan Brooks is there for his defense. Now, right now, Devin Booker is shooting 30% from 3. Dylan Brooks is shooting 34%. Grayson Allen shooting 39. Jalen Green's not playing today. Colin Gillespie, their starting point guard, shooting 42% from 3. So, they got some shooters, but Devin Booker's probably, because he gets the majority of the touches and he gets the majority of the attention, as he should. He's shooting 30% from 3 on 6 attempts a game. So this is going to be a good game for the Knicks. And again, right now, this part of the season, this particular game, is not like a must win or anything like that. But this particular time of the season is good for the Knicks. Why do I say that? I feel like right now, the Knicks are right where they're supposed to be. Like, I don't think they're disappointing, and some people try to act like it's the end of the world because they lose a few games. I don't pay attention to knuckleheads like that. Right now, 24-13, they're in very good shape. They're in very good shape. They're exactly where they're supposed to be. They're not outperforming where we were anticipating them to be, but they're not underperforming. Right now, they have played 37 games. And so there's 4 more games till you get to the halfway point in the season. The league didn't do us any favors by getting us right now at this point on this long 4-game West Coast swing. But this is a good game for the Knicks in terms of solidifying what they do in terms of their core principles. So they obviously had gotten away from it badly in the 4-game losing streak, and obviously came back to it after having a day to think about it and practice and come back in Madison Square Garden and beat the Clippers. So they have to stick with the core principles. Now, for Jalen Brunson, get the ball to Karl Anthony Towns. Play off ball and let Towns find you. Or let him find the guy who will find you. But do not bring the ball up against pressure. Do not start the game off taking all the shots. Move the basketball. This is Jalen Brunson, okay? And a lot of people don't like it when I single out Brunson, but that's too bad. I want to win a chip. Brunson is the key. And his decisions determine where we're going. Decision must be, get the ball to Karl Anthony Towns. Go off ball. Do not fight the pressure. Let other guys, McCall, OG, Deuce, let them bring the ball up against pressure and move the basketball forward. Against the Clippers, many times I was noticing they were starting their offense with 19 seconds, 20 seconds left on the clock. That's when you want to start your offense. You don't want to be, when Jalen Brunson is over dribbling, they don't get into the sets of their offense until like 15 or 14 seconds left on the clock. You don't want to do that. Them couple of seconds are extremely important during the course of a 48-minute game. You want to start at 19, 20, 21, 22 seconds left. You want to get that ball into the front court quickly and then get your set going. That happens when Brunson is not over dribbling and when he is passing that basketball. Brunson will get his shots. Again, the value of Jalen Brunson is closing. That's why he was, again, the clutch player of the year last year. That's no coincidence. That whenever Jalen Brunson's had his best series, it's at the closing moments of a game. So we really need him there in the fourth quarter. Okay, or to initiate a comeback, maybe in the second or the third, but really the fourth quarter. And in order for the Knicks to not dig themselves into a hole, Brunson has got to let go of the basketball, especially in the first quarter. Okay, against the Clippers started off with a lead, but the Knicks were playing the right way, as I'm mentioning here, and it was only a matter of time before they made their run and took over, which is what they did. So they got to do that. Now, Brooks, let's just get it out here now so nobody starts tripping. Dillon Brooks is probably going to guard Karl Anthony Towns. Mark Williams cannot guard him. It'd be ridiculous. But Dillon Brooks can. Dillon Brooks is going to be very physical. He's actually going to be fouling Karl Anthony Towns. Let's just kid. He's not going to be just physical. He's going to be hacking him. Okay? Towns has got to keep his head. He cannot allow Brooks or anyone to take him out the game. Why? Well, first, it hurts us, right? It hurts us. But then, secondly, what it is over the course of a 48-minute game, he will wear Brooks down. He will foul him out. He will start to score. Towns is a superstar. With a guy like Towns, he is going to get his points. There are things where he's going to get you in positions where there's nothing you could do. Okay? And he's going to get whoever's guarding him in those positions. The key is when they double Karl Anthony Towns. This is the key. See, when Cat was not getting the ball, let's say the game before the Clippers game, that was the Detroit game, he was so determined to put his head down and get to the basket when he did get it that people would come from his backside and stealing the ball. When he's in the flow and he's getting the ball to initiate offense, he's much more aware of everything around him. Okay, he's like a kid that, he's looking for the food and he's hungry. And when he gets to it, he's just going to devour it, right? He's not even thinking about how fast he's eating or whatever. Brunson got to let Cat have the ball. Cat then can make decisions. When they double him, he will make them pay. Okay, he got 7 assists the last game. That can be a continuing trend. Okay, he will make them pay. When he gets the ball and you got Deuce out there cutting and Deuce is on the 3-point line, and then of course McCall, the road runner, and then there's OG along with Brunson, and the sets that the Brown has installed for Brunson to move off ball, it opens everything up offensively. Just getting Cat the ball opens everything up offensively. So that's key. All right. Defensively, they have to protect the paint. They have to. Okay? Now, listen. Devin Booker's going to go off. Gillespie's going to go off. You know, they're going to have dudes that's going to hit threes. We cannot lose our poise because they're hitting threes. Okay? The nightmare scenario was like when Boston won the chip, they could just hit threes all night, and before you know it, you know, you're down 30 because they done hit, you know, 60% of their 53s that they threw up. Not everybody's like that. That's difficult to guard. And the Knicks did end up beating they behind, but can't let that take you out of your game. So you guard the threes best you can, which is why it's important for us that Deuce McBride start. And I don't think there's any question he's going to. Got to guard three as best you can, but you must protect the paint. Do not let anybody from the opposing team come from the perimeter and get into the paint. Period. Cannot happen. The Knicks got to win the game in the paint. They do that, they're going to win the basketball game. That's number one. So, number two, I'm sorry. So you got to get the ball to Cat, let him operate. And some of y'all be nitpicking. I don't like him getting in on the block. Look, who gives a crap what you like? Get him the damn ball. Whether it's on the block, whether it's out the 3-point line in the corner, I don't give a crap where it is. Get the ball in the man's hands. He cannot be stopped. Okay? Get the ball in his hands. Period. Then, stop the paint. Period. Okay? Again, Mr. Brunson must be tough as nails. You cannot let anybody beat you in the paint. Okay? They're going to try to exploit him. They are. We got to protect him. And we got to keep all enemies out the paint. Period. End of story. Got to do that. Okay? Bringing Mitch Rob off the bench is going to help. He's going to come with energy. He's going to change the game for second unit. Whatever second unit, in the case of Phoenix, you're talking about Royce O'Neal. You're talking about Iguodala. You're talking about Ryan Dunn now in the second unit. They're going to be a tough defensive unit, especially Ryan Dunn and Iguodala. Very young players, but very good defenders, very tough defenders. And then you got Royce O'Neal, who can get in the streaky. He's a streaky shooter. Royce O'Neal is a streaky shooter. He can really light it up, or he can just be locked up. But one thing for sure, he's going to be tough. Okay, he's going to be tough. So second unit for them is pretty good. I think this is the key to them winning right now. Second units in the NBA are becoming more and more recognized for how important they are. Yeah, Royce O'Neal is shooting 41% from three. So they're going to be tough. That's one of the reasons they probably won 4 in a row. Their bench is clicking, okay? So that's why we need to come back. Mitch Rob, Tyler, you got, of course, Jordan Clarkson. You got these guys. And then maybe Yabusele. He's been showing a little more confidence, a little more aggression. Let's see what we get, right? Let's see what we get. So we got to really, Mitch Rob coming off that bench with that unit is going to be dynamic. You know, West 4th Street going to do his thing. You know, and Kolek, I like what Kolek's been doing, consistently tough on the defensive end of the floor, which was lacking until now, till this season really. Doesn't force anything. He once he's gaining confidence where he feels confident getting into the paint, shooting, missing, but he'll get that. What I do like is he's always a slick passer. See, so he causes the ball to move, and he will find the open man. There's no doubt about it. So with him on the floor with West 4th Street and Mitch Rob, and then hopefully Yabusele doing this thing, you add one of the starters to that, and you just roll. So winnable game, obviously. This is the thing. All games the Knicks play are winnable. I don't think I've seen any game, maybe one or two, where they weren't favored to win. And it was because of injuries, like when Josh Hart and both Josh Hart or when Brunson is out or when Carlton Towns is out, then they might the odds get slimmer, right? But for the most part, I'd say 80% of the games that the Knicks play, they're favored. And why is that? Because every game is winnable for the Knicks. Does it mean they win every game? No. But every game is in the winnable category. So this is one of those situations with Phoenix. They could beat Phoenix now, but Phoenix could also beat them. But the Knicks have to stay to their core principles: protecting the paint, getting the ball to Towns, rebounding the basketball, especially on the offensive end. That's where Mitch Rob comes in. Strong play from the bench. We're looking for 30 points from the bench. Okay? I haven't really been getting that recently, and this because Deuce started the last game, and Deuce has been, filling in that starting role. That's why you lose something off the bench. But we got enough to do this. Now, I don't want to see Mr. Brown extend his rotation past 9. That is Yabusele, Mitch Rob, Tyler Kolek, and Jordan Clarkson. Other guys, if we're blowing them out or if the game is over, okay. But in the thick of it, unless somebody's hurt or in foul trouble, stick to 9. And I think we'll be all right. I mean, people getting carried away with playing 11 guys. It's not going to work. It's going to catch up to you. So play them intermittently. As Tibbs used to say, situational. The rest of them, let's do this. Now, they're guaranteeing McCullough. They're guaranteeing Jemison. They're guaranteeing their contracts for the rest of the season. We know they just waived the two-way guy Toussaint, and they got a two-way deal available, and we're all, I think, pretty much hoping that two-way deal goes to Dink Pate. Both Landry Shamet and Josh are out tonight. Both of them are out tonight. But I feel like both of them will be back before the end of this road trip. And the thing is, one thing about this road trip, so they play Phoenix tonight. Then Sunday, right? They got another game Sunday. I think it's, who do they play Sunday? They play Portland. That's right. So they go to Portland on Sunday night and play, right? And that game is at 6 p.m. Eastern, which means it's a 3 o'clock game in Portland. It's an afternoon game. So they play Portland Sunday afternoon. But then they get Monday and Tuesday off. And then they play Sacramento late, 7 o'clock local time, 10 o'clock Eastern on Wednesday. So that's giving them almost 3 full days to practice and rest and whatever, treatment, whatever they need. Which is why I'm really feeling strongly that we will get Shamet and Josh back, on this road trip. So they get a nice little 3-day break. And then it's a back-to-back. Sacramento one night and Golden State the other night. Now, by traveling, that's nothing. That's like, if you're in New York and you're flying from JFK to Philly, it's not even like that. It's probably shorter than that even. So, or you're in Newark and you're flying to Philly. It's very close, right? So they could get to Golden State from Sacramento. It's not that far. And then that'll be the last game of the road trip. Then they head back and they play in Phoenix again at home on next Saturday night, the 17th. So, although it's a 4-game West Coast trip, it's not the most brutal one, especially where the Knicks are right now in terms of how they're playing and understanding what they got to do. I think we're in good shape. I like. It'll look real good coming out of a 4-game road trip with a winning record, just like they did They had a 3-game road trip a few weeks ago, and they came out 2-1 in that 3-game road trip. If you can come out with a winning record on the road trip, you're doing good. And right now on the road, the Knicks are 8-9. So if we can come out with a winning record in this 4 games, they can change that whole position. So now we already know the Knicks are dynamite, at home, right? The Knicks are dynamite even after they lost a couple games. Right now, the Knicks are 16-4 at home. Okay, 16-4. So they doing good at home, but we got to accrue that away record. So this is a good trip to help us get back on that track. So we can improve to a play above 500 on the road. This is good, especially going into what we got coming down the road. Okay. Anyway, that's what we got. We're hoping we get this dub. Nobody gets hurt. Everybody plays the proper roles. Again, Mr. Brunson, Mr. Cat, do what you got to do. Mr. Deuce is starting. Do what you got to do. And we'll see how this works out. You all enjoy your weekend. Be safe out there. So.